on in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Sassy versus Core match of dreams, match of memes, and we'll see who prevails successful yet again. But boys, first, let's go look at the Byzantines early game, because now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this has become the golden standard of aging. We just get a lot of stone.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna be going for a bit of the greedy opening. But I mean, the Ruse players are not really are kind of known for their greed too. So he knows nothing much is gonna happen for a couple of minutes. So yeah, he's gonna be looking to build his cisterns.
A lot of them. And Sassy going for the second scout now. Now, guys, we do flash forward a little bit into the Dark Age so we can get past those initial phases of sheep gathering. But honestly, Core is snacking right now. You can see that's a lot of sheep, and he's on one singular scout. Now, Sassy should be able to pick up a few more on the other side. Let's go take a look. But Core is a very, very happy camper, especially with Sassy now trailing behind exactly where Core was. And Core is going to go back with a lot of loot. Now, Byzantines, they're not a civilization that's too reliant on sheep. But with the current playstyle on them, we definitely have seen people utilizing the sheep a little bit more before they do that farm transition.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you don't need the sheep yourself, it's always nice to deny them from the opponent, right? And yeah, I mean, considering our friend SAS is on 3 scouts actually now. I will not say it. He, is pretty happy with the loot that he got.
Yeah, Core, knowing he's up against the many scouts, he probably is also happy with getting just enough to be aggressive. And now, guys, we're seeing that second cistern get connected before the feudal age even hits, and that is the state of our game. We get Byzantines with a lot of cisterns, and it does feel a little bit tough to handle, especially when you look at that economy bonus. Just another nice 14% at this stage of the game. It does add up pretty quickly. Now, what's a little bit different is Core is only aging up with 3. And now, a lot of you might be asking, like, why does this even matter? Usually, when people age up, they age up with 4 or 5, especially on the Grand Winery. I believe 4 is the number. But Core, he wants to ensure he maximizes wood income. He wants to make sure he gets every bit of wood. So the moment that he ages up, he most likely will want to start making units. Or we'll see what crazy play he goes for, because he's stacking a little bit of gold, so it could just be a little bit of upgrades. But doing something like this is exactly what he needs to be able to shut down Rus and their ridiculous ability to pro scout.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see what SAS is going to go for here. Is he gonna make a bit of units, or is he gonna be just a very greedy boy and go straight to castle? I don't really expect him to play feudal for too much. But I mean, who knows? We've seen some players play a bit of feudal ruse again. So maybe that's gonna be the path that he chooses. But I wouldn't really expect it. I think he's gonna be a greedy boy.
The greedy boy. Now, I think with Core, especially now getting wheelbarrow as well, this does delay that first military building, and he does go for the barracks. So it's pretty interesting how just getting a wheelbarrow a little bit earlier does delay that quite a bit. Oh, with the scouts, he's trying to be quite a bit spicy. So now the scouts have their new target. It is yet another one of their kind. But now with the barracks, he should be able to get out on the map and actually start to deny. Sassy Scout is in position to pick up the boy, but there's still a few seconds before these guys will come in. Now, with the 3 scouts he has here, we can see him instantly going towards the other side, ensuring that he yoinks a few of these deer himself. Now, with the extra cistern coming this way, it covers quite a bit more. The berry patch here,
oh,
but...
no. Wait, no. No way.
Oh, he lost some of the stone.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
That is kind of actually, wait, because he hadn't touched it yet, right? I thought you needed to. The villager needed to touch the thing for it to get some HP.
It does.
I'm kind of confused.
It might be a little strange of an interaction, but I think with cisterns, if you're in the vicinity, they start to get a little bit, as long as you're close enough.
Damn,
Tiny touch.
he lost like
40 stone, yeah.
40 stone there.
It's a pretty big loss to start off with, especially having to cancel it that quickly, but Sassy being in the right position, he's probably pretty happy with that. He does not get to yoink any deer, so for Core's side, definitely also a happy camper to know that his deer are going to be nice and safe, especially with these Limited guarding. Now this is a very interesting position, especially because you can easily wall it off and have the deer pretty safe though. And with both deer packs being on the same side, he probably is very happy to just have to send one of the Limited to the other side right here. It's going to be quite close as well. Now, with Sassy, he's got 6 scouts and he's already pulling back the deer, but Core did not go too greedy. He went ahead and straight made units, which I think is going to make this a little bit easier for him. Now, Longbowmen joining the party as well. And honestly, Longbowmen do pretty well against those horse archers.
Yeah, definitely. Longbows are a really good answer. I mean, jabs are also obviously really good, but I think it's one of those cases where you just can't go wrong with either choice. But yeah, so definitely, if he can get that nice little mass of 15 longbows when SAS ages up, because looking at SAS resources, he's very clearly trying to get to Castle Age. Even though he's being responsible, he's adding a bit of archers there to answer the Limited A. But clearly, he has no intention of hanging in feudal for too long.
Yeah, getting a few archers definitely helps the situation when you're playing against a very aggressive player here. But those longbows are going to enjoy that, and that's exactly what Core is thinking as well. Just getting out on the map and making sure that he can deny more and more deer. Now, with the scouts, you can see another set going home, but Core is getting ready for Castle Age himself. Ensuring he gets an outpost onto the gold does make this a lot easier when you're playing against a unit like horse archers.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, yeah, that macro from Core looks like the macro of someone that's. But just as I say that, he queues all of the upgrades and more units. So I think he's not. He's gonna probably be looking to apply a bit of pressure. And I mean, I think if he can manage to keep SAS from getting the entire both deer packs entirely, I think it's a pretty good situation for him. Because I mean, deer is really good. It's really good, obviously, but it still runs out at some point, right? And we see SAS going with a double stable and an archery range, so I think he's gonna go just Knight Archer now.
Now the thing is, SAS wants to go Knight Archer, but the situation is a little bit more dire than he would expect, because those knights are not just gonna cost gold, their upgrades are gonna cost gold. And we know, Rus, a civilization that does not like going on gold, so instantly gets 2 horsemen instead, realizing that this might be a little bit expensive. But you can see, even with the horsemen now, he's still gonna need to get that upgrade. And now the longbows are just gonna start tickling back, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if his long-term plan is a horseman there, or if it's just what he's doing because he doesn't have the resource for anything else. But I mean, I don't know. Every time you're a Rus player and you don't get to spam horse archers, it doesn't feel too good. That is kind of your natural path, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, I do want to address one of the questions in chat here. Is Masters of Steel in Copenhagen with audience? No, at the moment, not. This might change, but it will most likely not. The only people we have at the LAN will be volunteers and some pro players who will be practicing with the other participants. So if you are volunteer, you need to reach out pretty soon. But we do have a list of people who have already volunteered that we have sent through for approval. So it will be like an invitation-only situation. But if there is enough interest, we can definitely make a meetup happen between the people in there as well. So if you're from Copenhagen especially, just reach out and we'll see what we can do. Now, the Golden Horn Tower is coming up, Shukle. And I feel like the horse archers were not here yet. We haven't gotten a whiff of them as of yet. And the problem is, this does not look like an army that can actually handle a feudal age army.
Yeah, this is a bit of a sad army for someone that is Castle Age. I don't think there's a single Castle Age unit in there. And I mean, the numbers are still looking pretty good for Core, but that's only half the army that's here. So I think considering he doesn't have any upgrade, this is a pretty good trade, I think, for SAS. At least as good as he can basically hope for.
Yeah, the problem is those longbows just picked off all of the archers, and now they're even like focus firing elsewhere. The Limiter, the archer numbers from Sassy just weren't enough to actually keep them under control. So now Sassy is still living true to his Rus heart. It's still not going for gold, but at the same time trying to get those warrior monks out on the field to go and get some damage done. Now from Sassy's perspective, this probably looks pretty good. He's like, okay, I just cleaned up a significant portion of his army. But Core, on the other hand, he probably feels very different. He just cleaned up a lot of Sassy's army, and that was a very expensive army at that. Now Sassy, he does get a few more knights, but keep in mind, guys, these knights, they are not the French variant. They do raid pretty well, but against these Limiter, which he has a lot of, and soon Cataphracts, he might struggle just a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think as long as Core is looking at his map there, he should be okay. And yes, he spotted it. So no damage there. Ooh, but SAS, yeah, SAS actually loses the knight. It's pretty pricey. Those are expensive units, and you know when the numbers are so low right now, every single unit counts. But you know, I think that trade that SAS took, you know, even though it wasn't really a good trade, I think considering the state of the game, it was probably as good as he could have hoped for. So that was probably a good operation for him.
Now, Sassy is still trying his best to get a little bit more food, and we see there is still a healthy amount of deer under the TC, and with this high trade house, he's definitely happy about how safe the deer is, but the whole point of Rus at this point of the game is to be able to do damage to your opponent. Now Sassy is on a singular relic, and Cataphracts are about to join in, and it doesn't feel like he has anything in his arsenal to actually handle that. So those Cataphracts are going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, those Cataphracts are really, you know, really scary units. And I mean, he's queuing crossbows now, so it seems like he's seen something. And yeah, maybe that would have been that monk there that saw them. I'm not sure. But he definitely needs to do something about those, because 1v1, those Cataphracts are going to shred knights.
Now, those Cataphracts are going to be following their journey to see if they do find a victim or two. But we can see Core here. He's snacking on them deer. He's like, no worries, brother. I'm all the way out here. And what's interesting about this, and I want to show you guys the influence here. So, even though the villagers are running all the way back to the mill, and you might be thinking, oh, idle time. It's still okay. They're being inspired when they come into the circle. Now, ideally, you could put one here, but then they would still be inspired as they run in and out. So he does have wheelbarrow as well, so it does not make it too... Oh, there we go. There he goes, but he just puts it out of the range. No, Core!
Maybe he's listening to the stream.
Yeah. No, Core...
He's 5 minutes ahead, you know. He's got a time traveling thingy.
So I see also someone asking, is Beastie out? Does he get another chance? Guys, that was just a show match. He's not out. He's going to be at the LAN. Poppy Paw is going to be at the LAN. And those boys are all at the LAN, and those Cataphracts are still running. They have decided not to be raiding today. So,
what a transition there.
Yeah.
Professional cat.
What can I say? Vash, thank you very much for the raid, and Beastie as well for the earlier one. Appreciate it. We're casting some of the qualifying matches here and trying to see what we get out of it. Now, hopefully, Sassy will be able to do some damage to this, because Core's army is looking pretty scary. This does not feel like a normal Rus game that we usually see, with horse archers just dominating the map. This is now a very, very slippery slope, because Byzantines, their edge is the fact that they have cisterns, and that hasn't been punished. While on Rus's side, the professional scouts have been punished. The relics have been denied, even if it's just 2 of them. But it does not feel as clean for Sassy as he would need it to be, especially against the Byzantines right now.
Yeah, definitely. This looks pretty okay for Core. He also has a couple of olive groves there. So I think this looks pretty okay. You know, even getting 2 relics versus Rus also feels pretty good. They're just so good at getting them. So even if you're down to 2 to 3, but 2 is pretty okay. No major disadvantage.
Oh, definitely. Especially when you're getting olive oil out of it, right? Now, these archers, they need to be very careful because this is not a pure army that you can trade with, but the cataphracts are going to be joining soon as well. There are knights right behind them, though, so the armies finally meet, and the tower stays up. Now, the tower being a little bit reinforced, it does help with these units, but the spearmen are instantly on top of the knights. Beautiful micro here from Core, and that is just Core recently. Core just pulling out the plays. Very well done. Cataphracts right on top of the archers as well. Look at those guys, barely breaking a sweat.
Yeah, those cataphracts are gonna take a lot of shots to die, and yeah, thankfully he doesn't have the gulp that has a bit fallen out of favor lately. But yeah, the military numbers are still looking very, very good for Core, and he's got a good bunch of SAS eco idle right now.
We can switch over to the resources per minute now. You can see Core is in a very good spot. He does have a lot of food incoming for himself, so he does definitely feel happy about being able to replace this army. While SAS, on the other hand, he has not prioritized food as much. We see the wood being the focus here. Villagers getting picked off as well, but this one staying strong and repairing that tower. Now, he is able to push this back, but the problem is now Sassy needs to do some damage, because again, Byzantines, they're just sitting back and relaxing. We still have a lot of berries here, but that is also limited edition, so these farm transitions are going to be so crucial. But Core, he's doing it steadily while keeping that pressure up.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the end of that engagement there looked a bit iffy. I think Core probably extended his welcome a bit too much in Sassy's base there, but yeah, he has 5 villager kills. You know, bunch of cisterns, bunch of olive groves. I think he's a pretty happy boy for now.
And the farms from Rus, it definitely feels quite hard to be farm transitioning as Rus, but at least Sassy is doing this at a point of the game where he can still take on this army. Now, with the Mangonel in queue as well, he's definitely going to have a better chance at the units that he just saw earlier. But the problem is, there was a slight transition on the side of Core. Core is going for horses. And guys, when you have this many horses, it does become quite difficult to shut down. And the knights are going to go out there for the boar to try and get him down. But he might take a knight down with him. Unfortunately, the boar was not strong enough, and the boar civilization will be going down.
The boar civilization, okay.
Oh,
it would be kind of fun to have an animal civilization in the game, but I guess probably not historically accurate.
Yeah. But this game is all about historical accuracy, right?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the hunting cabin does block a significant portion of the boar, and we can see only 2 villages. Oh, and he has to cancel it. The hunting cabin.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, hunting cabin 2025.
Yeah, I've made that mistake a bunch of times. It's always a bit annoying. But yeah, I mean, 100 wood, it happens.
It does feel like a very expensive mistake, but in the grand scheme of things, we have an army moving across the map, and unfortunately, Core has a big army waiting for him, and a very mobile one at that.
Ooh, those spears a bit in the middle of nowhere there, so it looks like Core is Sassy's gonna be looking to get that trade.
Now,
yeah, I don't think he's gonna lose a single knight here.
That feels very nice for Sassy. The thing is now he needs to get these knights to safety, at least most of them, because if you start losing these, it's going to be really hard for him to replace these. We'll check now what that split is, but it feels like the gold is getting a little bit thin. He doesn't have a lot of upgrades here, but if he impales, it does feel expensive, and a few of the knights do get stuck, 2, 3 of them going down now. And that army just gets thinned out every single time.
Yeah, and I'm a bit actually surprised to not have no one has added a second TC yet, which is a bit surprising to me. But I mean, why not, right? They're just fighting it out. Core has a lot of stone in the bank, so I don't know. Maybe a keep coming at some point, or maybe a TC. I don't know.
Yeah, Core is in a very comfortable position though, and I think he realizes this. Oh, with the horsemen, they're getting on top of one of the mangoes, and the other one is completely unprotected. They're gonna get right on top of it as well. He tries to get between the archers trying to find us around. They do find one. But there's a hole there, and ooh, the horses not able to find it completely initially, but no, never mind, they cleaned it up. The horses taking down 2 very expensive units, and now the knights are being impaled by the spears. They are doing really good work against the archers here, but as we see that 20 gold popping as well, Core is picking up a villager every now and again, and Core just has the ability to replace this army. Well, Sassy right now doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, this feels very, you know, a bit too deep for Core, but he just wants to kill him, and he's looking pretty close. Oh, and here comes the second TC. Yeah, I mean, this, you know, this is very, very aggro considering you're building a second TC in the back, but yeah, that's just what he feels he has to do. And I mean, that was probably a decent trade in the end.
Now, what Sassy is very comfortable on is Knight Civilizations in general. Sassy is a really good raider. He knows where to harass. He knows when to harass. The thing that usually differs with Sassy's raiding play here is he very often sacrifices some of his knights. Not on purpose, of course. And this is just, I think, the one thing that's still separating him from growing into that top 8 that we've been seeing. Because Sassy is one of those people, he shows his head, he takes down someone really good, and then he struggles to maintain it every now and again. But he's a very aggressive player. And right now, seeing his knights go around and keep looking for damage, even though he's under pressure, even though he knows there's a lot of things coming, he's ensuring to keep that pressure up. And he's getting very close to being aggressive enough to do some proper damage to people. But you can see this is still a very slippery slope and very easy mistake to make for most people. So Core definitely ready to do that final death push, and I just don't think Sassy is going to be ready with these units. He does have a few minute arms in the mix as well now, but those fire rams are going to be absolutely disgusting to handle. Now, the knights, they do pick off a little victim here, but they do pull back because they realize every number matters.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, Sassy is you know, he's falling behind a bit on eco there. He's what 13 villages behind, and his pro scout is gone. So now the raw eco from the cisterns is looking pretty strong. Even though, you know, being Ruth, he also has a lot of economic bonus. The economy is definitely one of the best in the game. But I think Core is quite ahead right now. And to be honest, I'm a bit surprised with how aggressive he's playing this, considering how ahead he is in economy.
Yeah, this is a little bit of Core's wild card energy. Now, Core is the one day he's pulling things out of the hat, and the next moment he's just the most aggressive man you'll see in the shop. But now look at that, Shuki. Those poor little spearmen are fighting their way through, but the archers and crossbows just cannot do enough.
Yeah, this is really good position for him. But the mangoes are looking a bit scary. That's a lot of longbows, and he doesn't really have any way to get on top of the mangoes. And yeah, I'm a bit scared for that army. Looks like for now SAS is holding.
Now,
But yeah, we saw Core has that second TC, so every minute that keeps ticking is he just gets ahead and ahead and ahead.
and you can see Sassy's farm transition has not been as smooth. This has been now interrupted by a little bit of a cataphract, but it does feel like the raiding is not going to stop. And I say that, I see the keep bow coming down. This is going to be very tough.
Yeah, that farm transition you were looking at was those farms were a bit ugly. Like if you're you know, a city building enjoyer, this is not the look you want your farm to have. But hey, they'll do the job.
They make the food, yes, very good.
They make the
They
food.
make the food, very good, yes. Now the second TC coming through from Rus, and I realize we have a Rus game. I can do Rus accent for this, yes. So we are going to play against a very big army here, and honestly, Core is just going for more disgusting units, as you can see, just more longbowmen, disgusting. He just wants to keep making this pressure that's coming from the top. Now, with all the upgrades, Core is probably going for Imperial Age pretty soon, because at this point, he just has too many units to actually keep on producing. He's gonna get that 200 pop cap, and Sassy, he's so far not looking any better for him. Can you do
I was captivated. I was captivated by your accent. That was pretty good.
Can you do
I'm
a
not sure if,
Byzantines one?
Actually, I don't really know. I can do a kataskopos.
Katoskopos, yes. Oh, I put it in Russian.
Kataskopos. I mean, you know, there's a lot of Russians in Greece. So, you know, why not? Why not?
Okay. Etimos.
No.
Okay.
Caballarios.
Oh, I keep Russianing it. Ah. Now, Core's getting a little bit defensive here. That's good. This is responsible Byzantining. Because a lot of us, guys, and I know you guys in Twitch chat, you guys are sitting here like, why is he making keep when he can make towers? This is responsible keeping. He went ahead and he put a keep on his opponent's gold. That's going to be a really big surprise for Sassy. But what he did is he made one at home as well, just to ensure that that farming economy has something to protect it. Now, this becomes as easy as 1, 2, 3 wall, and you have a pretty safe economy, though. Core, like we said, getting a little bit close to the pop cap. He's Malaga. Oh, wait, let me see if I can... Hey, Malaga, this is, it's looking good. I don't know, no, I can't. I can only do it. My WoW guildies were... Malaga. My WoW guildies were... We had a lot of Greeks, and it was always pretty funny, but they were... All the people that we did deal with, they were very specific area, so unfortunately, guys, not today. But these horses, though, they are cleaning up pretty good, eh? And look at that. Wall right through. Easy defense. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of a wall. And apparently, if you want to keep your economy safe, build a wall.
Yeah. I mean, I know if it was you, there would be like 20 mango towers in this farm right now. But thankfully, Core is not you. So he doesn't abuse broken mechanics like that.
Ah, yes, of course. Now, Core goes for the keeps. Those things are way more balanced. And they don't have bank and element placements in them. He's an honorable man.
Yeah, very honorable.
Now...
I mean, those mango towers are kind of gross, but it's okay.
Okay, guys.
Oh, he's going... It's kind of funny that... Yeah, okay, so he got his own gold keep dropped, and now he's looking to steal Core's gold.
We have some vision on those poor villages, and I want you guys to follow these stories as... the push is coming in on this side too. Now that is going to be the redemption gold for them. And I honestly think that Core is in a very good position to take that down though. Because as we can see, I don't know where that bad boy is, but there's a real cannon on this map. And I don't know about you, Shuki, but I think Sassy is a little bit cooked when it comes to the real cannon. But guys, there are some shenanigans on the way. These boys are about to spot something on the rise.
Yeah, they're about to spot. There's a bunch of knights with it, so I think Core is about to lose a bunch of villagers, and this is a very, very good timing for Sassy there.
Now, he does have a lot of victims.
He's probably going to be molding at this, but at least he has the information that there's a keep drop happening there, and indeed he already has 2 cannons on the field, so I don't think that keep is going to be living too long.
That keep against the cannon feels very tough, especially now with the age up coming through. Sassy is going to need the time to actually be able to get those upgrades. So actually, he needs to be able to fight this under the keep, and it just feels like he's nowhere close to it. Getting boiling oil now, the second player I've seen in the last 3 weeks getting boiling oil. Ladies and gentlemen, Sassy making boiling oil great again. So again, for those of you who joined a little later, we haven't been seeing boiling oil from players. And it's been very, very confusing because the keeps just get burnt down. So now, finally, we got Beastie making boiling oil. We have Sassy making boiling oil. Now, unfortunately, he's got rail cannons to go with it. So boiling oil doesn't do too well against rail cannons. So use case is just not as effective as it needed to be. Different use case, yes.
Yeah, I think Sassy is gonna need to run away with there. And honestly, all those villagers are, if they don't have that keep, I don't know, they're probably not gonna be too long for this world. He's gonna go hide, but there's no army there to protect them. I think Core is smelling blood there, but okay, Seth just goes around.
If you don't go...
Core has to know. Oh, he just shows a couple of them. Wait, what is this?
Yes. He tries to bait him away from these. And you guys can see them running around for their lives now. The Knights, on the other hand, though, you see, we'll just keep an eye on these bad boys. And they are staying alive for now. Never mind. They want to go run to their deaths as well. They're trying to find a good space to be. But great pickup here from Sassy. And that's what I said earlier. Sassy, he keeps the pressure up, even when the pressure is on him as well. Now, there is two bombards, or there are two bombards coming out for him pretty soon. And you can see the villagers trying to make their way back to the base, but this is going to be a very hard place to run back to. And now, Byzantines, you have big gold. Yes, very good. It is going to be so great for army.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could do the Russian accent, but I can't do the Russian accent.
You do the French one, and that one is the hardest. I'm sure we'll get a French game today.
You know, when you're French speaking, the French accent is kind of easy, right?
We need to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there was a bunch of raiding and a bunch of eco dying everywhere, but right now, Core is still pretty much 30 eco ahead, so he's got a pretty good position in this game.
And the problem is, those rail cannons are super protected. Sassy is not in a position to actually collapse on them. We see Core max pop. He's got a lot of units in queue to replace this with as well. Sassy, he's currently drowning a little bit, but you can see focusing. Ouch.
Okay, saw it. I was a bit scared there. I thought he would not see it for a bit. Oh, but that's all the thieves is gonna go down. Really beautiful unit sandwich there by SAS.
Absolutely amazing play by Sassy, doing the best work at coming from behind and making sure he cleans everything up. That's a good man right there. He is now cleaning up the rest of this army with the horses, but the mangonels, they might be in danger if Sassy doesn't keep track of this. It does feel like Sassy knows, but that is a very heavy stream of units. And he needs to be very careful. If Core can gather these and try to push again, and that's exactly what he pulls back right now, he realizes one by one, you guys are not worth much. But as a team, we will be taking down this army.
That is very true. I mean, even with this amazing trade that SAS just took, he's still they're still pretty much equal in military numbers. But yeah, I mean, you know, Core, I think, is still ahead in this game, but this is the kind of play. This hunting cabin is beautiful, by the way. But yeah, this is the kind of play that he's gonna need to keep making happen if he wants to have a chance at coming back. Because I don't know if you look, for example, at the food per minute. Those numbers are looking a bit skewed towards Core right now.
A bit, yeah, I would say. A tiny bit, though.
And the gold is not looking so great either.
Ooh. And that's a gold with university upgrades coming in. Incendiary arrows next. And I don't know about you guys, but when I see incendiary arrows, I fear for my damn life. Now, finally, they do break through, and 1,862 gold up for grabs. Sergi says, yes, very good, I need this. But problem, we have lots of boys that are about to get crunched on. And the villagers, they're pulled to try and repair them, but it doesn't look like it will be enough. Today you die. Oh wait, that's the Byzantines making sure that they die. But unfortunately, it doesn't feel like Sassy has the ability to replace those. You can see he's got one only, and you see the resources are just not stacking up for this. And the keep stayed alive. Very good.
This is the power of a horseman in the late game. I really like getting when you get to that point of the game where you have so much eco, and horsemen at this point are basically free because they only cost food, and you have endless amount of food theoretically. So you can just spam them and send them everywhere and create chaos, and yeah, they're just so good at picking up siege and reinforcements, raiding. Very good unit in the late game.
Now, you can see these French cannons, they're just kind of, being quite French. Very dominant and very aggressive. Very passionate about what they do. Speaking a lovely accent.
French people do?
Yes. Aren't you guys passionate about stuff? French-speaking people, sorry, Shukle.
Yeah, I guess. But I think we should look at this game because I think SAS is having a pretty bad time right now. I think Core might actually be doing it. Ooh, and yes, SAS steps out.
Quick says Core. Quick, I say. But this was a pretty long game, Shuki.
Yeah. Nah, it's okay. We've had a very short series before.
Very
this is
short.
fine.
No.
This is a BO5, right?
Yes, this is a BO5. Shuki is like, oh shit. I'm not practiced for this. So
my stamina is not big. Is not good enough.
It's okay. You can't be perfect. So guys, just for reference, Shuki is coming to the LAN with us as well. He's gonna be our videographer / photographer. But I wanna pull him into the casting desk, and I'm gonna force him on there because we do have the French boys also coming. So I think you might actually have a good time over there. So.
Ooh, these French boys. I mean, us Belgian and French, we don't get along too well. There's a bit of a rivalry.
You do?
No, I mean we do. We do get along, but there is a bit of a rivalry between us. I mean, it's always the same between neighbors, right?
But what is the rivalry about? Is it like who has the original baguette, or what do the people actually argue about? No,
yes,
in my country, the baguettes are so much better. They're soft and I don't know what you are talking about. In my country, the baguettes are the best. The Italian hands, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's we know. We talk a lot about the golden baguette, the legend of the golden baguette. That our ancestors brought back from the land of the gods.
And who was it gifted to? Was it gifted to the Belgians, or was it gifted to the French?
Yeah, to the Belgians.
Of course. Now, guys, if you see me looking this way, I'm looking down at you, Twitch chat. I need to see if you're saying anything that is important. But this is Twitch chat. You guys are always saying something important. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Injury vs. Aeobits, though, so I hope you boys are ready for some shenanigans, because we're about to hop on in. Let me press the button and... La! Very good. So, now, Shuki, we cannot make an Aeobits accent, otherwise we might get cancelled. But we can definitely make an HRE one. So, take it away, Shuki.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can do the German accent, actually. I haven't practiced that one too much.
Okay.
How do we do German? You're pretty good at German accent.
The problem is if I do German accent, I keep switching back to German. I keep speaking German. And a very bad German, and then, ja, Kor haben einen Prellet hier, ja. Das ist so gut. Ihr is yours, but the aggressive one. Oh, no, I can't. I want to switch to Norwegian every time. Okay, I can't, guys. I learned Norwegian for LAN reasons, and now I have a very useless language in my arsenal, but it stops me from speaking German. Anyway, Aeobits vs. HRE. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go right through the scouting stages of said game and get into our aging session, because as we can see, this map, not caramel like the delicious golden syrup, caramel, which means that they just don't have that extra A, which is absolutely delicious, which means they have a lot less gold. So this means that civilizations that thrive on little gold, usually they do pretty well in this scenario. Because once these run out, it does get a little hairy. You do have one here at the back. Oh my god, Core! Girl, what you gonna do with all of those, baby?
Well, that's a very nice sheep hole. But this map has more sheep, so I think maybe SAS also has a good sheep hole.
Oh!
Yeah.
Look at that,
They're
boys.
both happy boys. I mean, this is the particularity of this map. It has a ton of food. Double boar, lots of deer, lots of berry bushes, and lots of sheep. But as you said, not much gold.
So now the big question is this the type of map that you go fast castle on? Or is this the type of map you go per scout on? Because with this type of situation, you definitely feel like, hey, I could be eating those. But at the same time, you're playing against a civilization that, they can also go both ways. So let's look at the villages split here so we can see what the boys are cooking. And it does look like SAS is going for, if he's going for fast castle, we call this responsible castle because he's getting some wood and he's going to ensure he's a little bit safer about it. That wood can produce a military building. It can produce something defensive. It can go out on the map and eat stuff. So definitely a much safer aspect to this. But Core, this man is going straight for the fast castle, boys. He's cooking us, and he's cooking us probably a delicious burger.
Yeah. Ooh, delicious burger. You think? I mean, the burger rush has been one of Core's staple move, right? I remember a couple of games with Beastie, where he pulled it off against him and even beat him a couple of times. He still talks about it like 3 years later.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty standard.
But yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I would have thought he would have gone for like pro scout shenanigans, and maybe a bit of feudal in there. But no, it looks like our friend Core is just going to be a greedy goose and go straight to castle. And I mean, burger seems kind of wild against a Civ that is most likely going to be castle soon after you, but.
You're right. You're right. I was being a greedy goose. I wanted the burger, Shukle. It was a me problem. It wasn't a them problem. Core is not the kind of guy who would build a burger. Just like you are not the kind of guy who would tower rush people. I don't think Core would build a burger.
No, never. He would never build a burger.
Yeah, no. He's honorable, guys, actually. So, Shukle, your microphone... Okay, wait. We needed the safe word. We needed this...
What the hell?
Put it in your mouth. Or just give us some life.
Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud.
Okay.
Wait, I'll just turn it up a bit.
There we go. That's the right one. Guys, he improved the gain. Ladies and gentlemen, Shukle's back.
God damn it.
Okay, so...
Sorry. I don't understand like why it keeps happening. I'm literally like eating my mic right now, but hey.
Shukle!
Oh my god, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Disgusting. But that's the thing you mentioned. You wouldn't do this against a civilization that can respond. And they're also going to go fast castle. The thing is now, Sassy can go in one of two ways. He can go military wing or he can go eco wing. Eco wing is just going to ensure that if he loses a few villages, it's okay. But military wing, on the other hand, that's going to produce some very nice camels to handle the burger spam. So I don't know where this becomes worth it, actually. Now with the Burger Palace, I'm feeling quite hungry already. He's definitely going to have a pretty good spot here as he can pick these up with the dervishes very fast. But now, Sassy knows about this. And going for that scout second check as well, just to make sure, okay, that wasn't a cancel. We're still getting burgered. I was feeling a little peckish, and a blacksmith to follow that.
Yeah, I mean this is obviously a very strong play. The Burger Palace, a play that's almost as old as the game at this point. But yeah, he has to make something happen. And I mean he's gonna be running out of gold pretty soon, and there's a bit of units. Gold. No, I mean gold too, but food. So yeah, let's. I don't really know how this is going to go. I would have never done this, but hey. Core is a much better player than I am, so let's see how this goes.
And the problem is just SAS is also behind this. He can easily get units that can handle these. And you can see now the camels doing work. And I think Sassy kind of forgot, or Sassy Core kind of forgot about these bad boys. Because apparently, ladies and gentlemen, dervishes will outdamage any men-at-arms, or out-heal any men-at-arms damage that comes your camel's way. They are there to keep your army alive. Invest today in dervish.
Yeah, this is wow. Those dervishes are just so good, right? They're giving Sassy so much time, and I guess one thing, there's a trade-off. I was thinking, maybe he could. If he was under pressure, he could have rushed out with the... I don't remember the name of the wing that makes you age way faster for cheaper. But considering he already went for the dervishes, he can't do that. So he actually has to buy time. And yeah, he's just spamming the camels. And the camels are actually doing pretty okay versus the men-at-arms.
The problem is just he needs to get resources, because you can see he wants to go castle. Oh, and pulls back that villager perfectly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was brought to you by Sassy. Sassy, the fast man, but he will lose a poor villager along the way. Now the thing is, these men-at-arms are going to be a little bit harder to kill as time goes on, but you can see that beautiful camel micro, making sure that it goes the other way around. Now a little bit in danger. He has to make sure to keep these boys alive, because this is going to get hairier and hairier. And you guys can see he doesn't have a lot of gold left in the bank.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also Core is also a bit on the timer because the food is definitely going to run out too. So
Mm.
is going. Oh yeah, that's it. He has no more food under his CC, so now he needs to move out. And if SAS can somehow stabilize and get map control back with what he has on the field, and I don't know how this is going to go because I have not seen this interaction before with a camel. I mean, desert traders and men at arms like this. But
Honest,
it looks like Core is maybe doing it.
it does. On my side, I feel like Sassy is putting up a pretty good fight here. Now with the ranged attack, he is able to do some work. We can see he's got +1 as well. And we'll see if that was a worthy investment. Focus firing the spears to ensure he does not lose too much. But it does feel like the men-at-arms are just not packing enough of a punch here to take down the camels, and the numbers are increasing. He's not stopping with the production. We don't see Sassy slowing down at any point. And now with that +1, you guys can see the damage. It is absolutely obliterating these men-at-arms. And now these guys can start kiting because the men-at-arms, they are not in charge anymore.
Yeah, Sassy held this wonderfully, and I mean the dervishes are really giving so much value here because the men at arms are really tanky, but they're not known to be a high DPS unit, right? And they're just not able to out DPS the dervishes, and Sass is getting ready to click his age up pretty soon.
We'll see what he decides to go for because now, again, two viable choices. Again, now you can get the camels to just keep the push going, and that's exactly what he's going for. Or even just get the villagers to get further ahead. But you don't want to slow down this aggression. You want to make sure you're keeping it up because, just like you said, Shuki, the food will run out. This isn't inspired by a prelate. This isn't busted HRE that we make Reddit posts about. This is just a bunch of villagers trying to get some food and feed their army. But now men-at-arms and spearmen are just not doing the same as before, and no relics have been picked up by Core either.
Yeah, he's definitely super all in with this play. And I mean, you've burgered quite a bit too. You kind of know how it goes. Usually, if you're not inside under the TC, idling the entire eco at this stage, it's usually not too good for you. And yeah, right now SAS is holding this pretty well and just kiting these men-at-arms to oblivion.
Yeah, the burger definitely feels a little bit underwhelming from this point on. If you don't get that early damage down, we do see that Core killed one total villager, but now the games begin. And Sassy is the one being aggressive. And again, this is what we talked about last game. The fact that Sassy is the type of player who can still put the pressure up even when he's under the rest just gives him so much of an opening to actually do so well. It's a beautiful push here. He's got a little bit of idle timing on the villagers. That men-at-arm doing the same. And this is what sets these players apart from players like us and players like Twitch chat. I'm joking, Twitch chat. You guys would all be Core and Sassy in your sleep, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've never lost to Core and I've never lost to SAS.
Yeah, that's true. I have lost to Sassy. Never mind. Oh, and Core actually got me on ladder once. Never mind.
Really? Did you get sniped by Core?
I don't know if I got sniped, but I definitely got killed by Core. So I think those are very different.
That is disgusting.
Now, it does feel like Core here is starting to run out of steam. I know he's been running low on steam, but now all of a sudden, I'm looking at these camel numbers. And just like I always say in StarCraft, they used to say, the supply does not lie. And right now, the supply is not lying. It's telling us a story of a very big man in danger. And his name is Core. And I say he's big because he's tall as hell. Core, guys, massive German lad. So definitely got some Chad energy going on. But Sassy on the earbuds, he's fly AF and he's able to take things down.
Yeah, I mean, the army value right now is looking kind of pathetic for Core. He's got, half of the army value of SAS, and SAS is actually able now to finally make actually real counters to the men-at-arms of, the camels. While they, did the job, they're not actually counters. They just kind of do the job. But yeah, now he's making crossbows, and I don't know. I don't know, Whamen, but this burger rush doesn't seem like it's paid off too much.
Now you just have a situation where your infantry charge faster, and that could be useful in the late game, but Core hasn't been able to secure any relics from here. Now this again could just be pure focus and the fact that Sassy is actually able to counterattack. But now he's gonna run out of gold pretty soon, and after the second gold, things get very, very tricky. This is why on a map like this, if you do get into the situation, you want to have a civilization like Zushi in China, I believe, where you can actually survive on that limited amount of gold, and or imagine a nice little Rus over here. Oh my goodness, your deer income, every income, absolutely disgusting. But now the Wollalore comes through, reminds Core, oh yeah, I need to think about those bad boys as well. He does pick up one of them, and one of the relics will make it home, I say, while he's getting impaled. But the knights, the lancers, are there to tank up a few more shots as well.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Core. Actually has he has 4 prelates right now, and he doesn't have a single relic. I mean, just right now he just picked up one, which looks to be on his way. But this just shows you how rough of a game this has been for him. Really, nothing has gone according to plan.
So now, once you get into this point of the game, you have to ask yourself, okay, how can I potentially get out of this? And I think the situation here is, I don't know. I don't think there's a way for him to do so. So I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe some kind of imperial shenanigans, but I don't know. On this map, if you couldn't manage to secure the relics, like yeah, you might be able to get imperial, but then you have no gold. You can't do anything. I don't know. I don't know.
You know, I love how much you admit that you are unsure about this situation. I think that that we're a little bit clueless, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we put our A team, all the Conk 3 chads that carry Shuki in ranked, and that used to carry me in ranked as well before I stopped playing team games as much because now there's too much to do. Myriad and them will be able to carry us through that type of information, I don't know, information processing. But at the moment, boys, there's a gold. It's about to get secured. And I must apologize for my zooming. I think it's the ADHD that starts to kick in when I do have to fiddle, and we just end up doing this the whole time. So, now the food is running low. We see 2 villagers staring at the last deer that they think exists, as the other one is just out of the vision. They are really just thinking about what we can do for the rest of this game when our food runs out. The farm transition is barren. We've got 2 farms, and I remember a song, 10 farms. This does not match up just yet. So Core, he needs to think about
the 10 farms.
Yeah, this is not the 10 farms they were singing about.
No. But yeah, I think Core is in a really rough situation right now, and I'm really not sure what he's supposed to do. Probably creating chaos and trying to find a good amount of eco damage. But right now, SAS is kind of doing whatever he wants. And I mean, you know, we've talked about this a bunch. There's a limited gold on this map, but there's that very big gold vein in the middle. And a lot of times, the one who controls that gold vein kind of just wins the game.
Exactly. And you can see, you said Core needs to make a little chaos, but we can see the one making the chaos is Sassy. He's got those mobile units, and even though Core has some very scary ones, direct counters, lots of spears, Sassy is thinking about what is next for him as well. And that very heavy archer army is starting to form. We can see them now chasing after their poor little camels, while the rest of the villagers are coming into the middle here. Now, Sassy securing this gold this is a very dominant position to be in, especially not being contested whatsoever, and he's getting those towers reinforced to top it off with as well. Now, we do have a camel lancer running around, running amok, and he could potentially go disrupt that food source as well, because right now what we see is 79 gold per minute, and that's most likely just that singular relic doing work.
Yes, indeed, that singular relic. As a nature enjoy yourself, I think you can relate to how painful this has to feel right now for Core.
Now the tower does get reinforced, but unfortunately the tower is just made of stone, not steel. and it will not be able to withstand all of these guys. The archers, they are trying to guide back. The horsemen switch in. Does make this a little bit better, but the problem is there's so many camels to debuff this when they do a little bit of a turnaround as well. Another camel lancer going down, and Sassy, he will be able to take down a lot of units here, but Core, he's holding on. He's holding on for dear life, and he's trying to make this work.
Yeah, the tower providing a pretty good DPS, and I think it's not gonna go down. So, you know, a pretty decent first cleanup from Core, but he's gonna need much more than this if he wants to come back in this game, I think.
Yeah, Sassy definitely not trading his army as well as he might have wanted to, but at the same time, he's got a lot more coming. They're all in position, and now he knows about that horseman switch and instantly goes to spearman. Now, that is the beauty of counter units, ladies and gentlemen, and that is why these guys are where they are today, facing off in the qualifier to just make sure that they can pump all the way in Copenhagen. Now, it does look like the tower does get fully repaired, the berries will yet be safe again, and now the next target is going to be on this very delicious looking deer pack.
Make the berries safe again. That was a beautiful saying. I will have to keep that one. Thank you, Whamen.
No worries, no worries. I'm here to serve.
To provide the poetry and the what is it, the catch lines.
Yes, the beautiful South African inherent poetry that I've been genetically predispositioned to, and that is why
Really?
we're just no. I'm making a joke. Oh, not at all. That was a pretty bad joke as well.
Are you guys known to have to be making poets?
No. I don't think so. It's like, you know how Austrians are usually, or they have the greatest musicians. I don't know. We probably have the greatest rugby players, and that's probably all we can offer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are really good at rugby.
Yeah. Well, we're better at running than those poor villagers. And look at man, those poor guys. We can also ride camels, by the way. Very, very rare skill. So I resonate with the Avid player here. But it definitely feels like Core made this decision, he stuck to it, and he hasn't really thought about transitioning out of it. He's like, okay, it hasn't worked, but if I keep pushing, it might. And we can see with the unit composition he's doing. And now with the raiding, just like you said, if he wants to get back into this, he needs to be a little bit more active on the map. But the problem is, I think he just gave Sassy too much time. So now with Sassy being on the middle gold, it looks very even, if you guys look at this economically. But Sassy has 4 relics. He's getting a second TC that I completely missed until I got that ping. And this makes it a lot better for Sassy going into the later stages of this game. Because now with 2,000 gold in the bank, even if he eventually does get pushed off here, he's probably pretty okay for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, he has 4 relics, so he's not gonna be starving for gold as much as Core is. And the longer this game goes, right now, the more advantage he's going to get. And yeah, it's definitely on Core to make something happen right now. So, Whamen, are we about to get another 15-minute game here?
I don't believe so, because Core's a few minutes of survival, I believe, are going to run out pretty soon. This gold vein has 1,000 gold left in it. And guys, that's a very tiny gold vein. There's not a lot these villagers can gather, but they are... Oh, banana bread. So, he does...
I will just turn it all the way up.
Turn it all the way up, thank you.
I'm literally not moving. Like, what? I don't know.
We need to get you a Steelseries alias mic, so you can...
Oh, that is why it's not working, because it's not Steelseries. That makes sense.
Exactly. We'll get one of those shipped to you, so you can...
That makes sense.
Okay, then we'll fix that sound issue, don't you worry, sir. It's got its own little preamp. You can turn that bad boy up as you need. It's lovely.
You know, this was all scripted actually. The mic issues were all scripted so that we could slide that in.
Yeah, so we can get this. So we can get SteelSeries to fix our issues here as well for the future. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad you highlighted the issue. So next stream, people will be like, that sounds a lot better. Yes, we can actually hear him now.
I mean, maybe they don't want to hear me. I don't know.
Don't say that. You guys also play really good rugby.
Do we? I don't think so. I don't even
But the
know if we
Flemish
have a
side, the
team.
Flemish side, not you guys. Never
Oh.
mind. You guys are you're the baguette boys.
I don't think we're good at rugby. But
Okay. Okay.
we used to be really good at football. Like proper football.
From the baguette
But
side or from the stroopwafel side?
I think it was a mix. It
Oh
was a mix.
wow. Okay.
It was a mix. But yeah, now they're old, so now we're about again. It's okay.
It's okay.
Apparently, we're good at biking. We're good at cycling.
Okay. Yeah. Specialized skill right there. Now, what I do want to point out, guys, is Sassy, he's banking up for the late game. He knows that this is a limited edition gold vein. He knows what HRE late game can do. The thing is, I do believe, let's quickly check my farm counter. That's 11 farms, actually. That's 11 farms right there. I do think
That is more than 10.
I'm thinking about this. Tommy, if you're in the chat, we need a little graphic over here that we can edit on our side. And every single time I click on the farms, you can quickly update the farm count. So we can look at that throughout the stream and make sure that the casters know how many farms these people are on. So we can ensure to make the cast count to 10. And once they count to 10, we know who's going to win.
Is that how this game works?
Yes, yes.
The first 10 farms wins? Okay.
The problem is the meme isn't as good as Atibunti, so we haven't been able to replicate it. Yeah, we need the 10 farms to speak a little bit louder.
I mean, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
Apple crumble, or what was the word again? No. Okay, there we go. Banana bread. There we go. Sassy now getting the beautiful camels impaled, but he's got a very solid army behind this and an economic wing coming as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who haven't seen... Oh, that is an industry. Oh, 900 stone as well? Oh my goodness.
I've never seen anyone go imperial with this. That is kind of wild, actually.
That is a lot of stuff. You can get and villages build faster. Imagine that keep. They're about to drop a keep on the rest of the gold as well.
Wait, so you get 2,000 wood and 900 stone from it?
It definitely feels worth it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the price of your age up. That's actually kind of insane. Now, I'm not exactly sure what you want. I mean, I guess you can do a farm transition with 2,000 wood. But yeah, that is wild. I have literally never seen anyone do that.
I was honestly thinking that he was gonna go for the growth, because then the villagers work faster as well. But honestly, who needs growth wing when you've got 900 extra stone to secure the rest of the gold on the map, knowing that your opponent is HRE with a burger and no relics? So Core right now, he's on a ticking time bomb, and he knows this. Ladies and gentlemen, Core and his rams are ready. Are you guys ready, Twitch chat, to see Core ram down every last hope and dream of Sassy in the middle?
Yeah, he's gonna try to take control of that middle gold again, but I think he's probably mined a good amount of it already, no? Not sure how much is left there, but...
And that's what makes this map so great.
We do have the picture-in-picture...
we do. We are looking at the army. Never mind. Thank you, Shukle.
That's okay.
Now with the age up tick... Oh, as going through, this is the moment Core knows he needs to fight. So let's go look at those horses. As they're charging in, we see the purple smoke around them. They're feeling pretty uneased right now, and the gold is pushed off. Sassy knows, I've got 6 million gold in the bank. I am okay. Now, with these towers fighting back, it definitely feels like Core has this momentarily gained advantage here, but the problem is he pulls back and the upgrades are almost in. The camels are not upgraded just yet, but it looks like they're willing to fight this out already. And, oof, that's a lot of archers firing.
That's a really good timing from Core, and he's managed to get almost the entire fight in before the upgrade kicks in, and now there's a couple upgraders starting to come in. And I'm not sure if he's doing it. This is a bit of a wild one. It looks like Core's numbers are falling. Well, I don't know. I don't know who is winning this, but for now, everybody's holding. They're pushing. But hey, South is 1 age ahead, so yeah, that's it. Core just taps out.
Sash was 1 age ahead, and he was currently suffering of... Core was suffering from the gold depletion, actually. So, gold depletion, it ends games. So, Core and Sassy, 1-1 right now. Who will prevail? Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, we're getting the Holy Island next.
we are getting Holy Island. And wait. Are we getting Holy Island? We are getting Holy Island. Oh my goodness. Now, neither of these players are really known for their water plays. You know how when you now see Scatterbrain on water, people are like, oh my god, Scatterbrain's pretty wild. But neither of these players are having that status just yet. But the difference is, there's a Zushi on this map, and Sassy is on Zushi. Now, I don't think this is a free win, just because both of these players, neither of them are as, I don't want to say experienced, but neither of them are as prominent on water. So if Core pulls off something crazy, I think Zushi might be able to be outdone, because we know how good Zushi is. Especially on maps where, you know, there's a little bit of a drop in the ocean. So we'll hop on in. Give me 1 second, I just need to set up that second PC. So ladies and gentlemen, let us see what happens on water.
On water?
Water?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, you know, English Sushi. I think we've probably seen this matchup a couple times. Both since people have been enjoying them on this map. I think this, for all the English enjoyers in the chat, this is probably like the last map where people are actually picking English, I think. I don't really remember in recent memory where people have been enjoying English. And yeah, I think it's mostly actually for one reason, I guess, probably two reasons, but one of the biggest strengths of English on this map is that they have a special upgrade that give extra range to their military ships.
That does.
So that is really, really good for kiting.
And definitely is, especially if you are good at those fast movements. And Core, he's shown us that he is. So, aside from the banana bread that he's going to be fish that he's going to be snacking on the side. For those of you who are confused, banana bread is our code word if Shuki's microphone is too quiet.
Bro, I really don't. Something has to be wrong though, because like I'm literally not moving. But I don't know. I'll try to turn it up more. But, I'm not moving, so I don't really know what's happening.
So I see. Is there something about this map that forces you to play on the water, or can you win by ignoring it? So there have been some instances where players do win without going on the water, or without winning the water. But the early advantage from the food income is so strong. Ooh, let me switch to players as well. It's so strong that you cannot ignore it. The thing is, this is what happens if I cast. I will explain stuff to you. So, the deep water fish income is just so fast, and it's so important for the economy that if you just let your opponent get all these deep sea fish by himself without contesting it, he's gonna be ahead so fast because it's so hard for you to do damage already. Now, in an open position like this, you could potentially argue that, hey, I can just go for a feudal aggression and they won't be able to do much. And there are some civs that do it, especially on hybrid maps, but the water is just exponentially better in this regard. So, yes, there are some use cases, but at the top level, players play this safe, but also the most effective way they can. So, water is just the most effective if they last longer. So, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think I remember seeing. I think who was it? I think Faye. I remember seeing once on this map try some Dark Age shenanigans without getting underwater, and I think she won.
Mm-hmm.
But could you be able to beat a guy like a Marine Lord or Beastie with this? I'm not too sure.
And the reason, do you know why you can't beat Beastie or Marine Lord with this, or even anyone in the top 12? It's because they aren't like the rest of us, guys. They scout. Look at that. Look at that Sassy. He's scouting. He's gonna go right there and he's like, oh my goodness. He is on water. That's very important. Now on the other side, yes, same thing. Oh, he only has 2 on gold. I am safe. I don't need to be worried. So if you scout that your opponent is not on water, you're going to stop making fishing boats, and you're just going to make land aggression on top of this. And guys, this is the other use case. Now, for those of you who don't know...
Tell us.
This is disgusting. So the Lancaster Castle is usually the choice by English. But if you get the Abbey of Kings, ladies and gentlemen, this thing will make you a military unit. And considering the spawn that Core has scouted, he is going to be able to ensure that he can go and shut this down. Now, I want to point out what Core is also doing here.
Wait. Yeah, I was going to talk about this dirty boy.
Oh my goodness. I thought killing sheep to block the Malian mill or Malian thing is forbidden. I think this falls into the spirit of that. Yeah, I
guess it's a bit different because like the Malians, you know, they kind of don't really have a choice. I mean, it depends on the map, right? But in a lot of maps, they don't really have a choice. Like, but they have the choice. They can drop it wherever. Wait, no, I don't know what I'm saying. I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, he can drop this meditation garden like in a lot of different spots, right? Malians, they can only dropping on gold. So like if you grieve all the golds, it's a bit I don't know, it's a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see this is also something that Sassy is aware of. He knows he scouted this most likely. He knows that there's things coming. And this is why he is getting a tower on this, because he needs to find a way to stop this. Now, this is going to mean that Core potentially won't be able to contest water as well, because he is now going for a lot more on gold. And as we can see, he's only getting his second dock right now, while Sassy is getting his third. So in this scenario, if Sassy continues and he just takes over the water, he wins water. But he needs to find a way to respond to this. And getting the gold here is going to be his way. But this is now where you start forcing mistakes out of your opponent. And Core, he has a king. Very nice.
Yeah, king is a very good unit.
No, oh my god.
The king is the other what?
I just realized I said he's playing against Lancaster. And I realized that he's playing against English. Guys, I was wrong.
Oh, you thought it was Lancaster?
Yeah, for some reason my brain just zoned out. Look at that! And all of a sudden Sassy is distracted by this singular king. And he loses a fishing ship in the process. Now, this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. The fact that these players are making mistakes is only because the other player are forcing it. They are making sure that there is going to be reactions on this. So guys, I apologize. This is not Lancaster Castle. This would have been Longbows or King. And he opted to go for the King. Very, very smart choice, because that is a free military unit that Sassy needs to find a way to handle. And he's found a way.
I mean, you said it was gonna make strong military unit. It wasn't wrong. It made
that
a
is
strong
true.
Military unit, right? So
yes,
it's fine.
yes.
But we also saw Core. You know, you had a lot of guys on gold earlier, very early in the game, and he already had the Admiralty upgrade, whatever, which is the one that gives you those extra range that we were talking about. So yeah, it just means that his fish are just gonna be you know, a bit better. That his ships are gonna be a bit better than Zushi's, and able to kind of kite. And as we see on this map, particularly with the water being so big and so long like this, it just gives you a lot of space to kite properly.
Yeah, the problem is when you stop your production on water, which Sassy just did because of all the idle time he's had. He also just loses you lose that focus, and then all of a sudden your opponent has more military ships than you. So right now, Core not investing as much just yet, but even idling those docks for a moment could mean the difference between winning or losing water. Now, he is here with his horsemen as well, trying to do some damage. We are following that king on that side, and it does look like the king is in danger, but he does get a villager kill himself. That king finally going down.
Yeah, the king is trapped and it goes down. And this is expensive because, you know, obviously the first one is free and it's really good, but now he has to pay for it to get it back. And obviously you don't want to be paying for, I think it's 100, right? Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Yeah.
The king is a very versatile unit, which is why he's still making it. But you can see Core, instead of investing on the water as much, he is still doing so. He's getting some land units. And Sassy, on the other hand, he's making a very one-dimensional unit, which is horsemen. And the problem is Core has the direct counter to this. So now, if Sassy can win the water, this will be a lot easier for him. But we do see a little bit of a flanking here. And it looks like Core is going to try to flank, but you see that beautiful range just coming in and actually doing work. Beautiful micro by Sassy at the same time, but he needs to be careful. And Sassy is now looking for a connection. He might be getting it.
Very dangerous. Okay, he only gets one. He only gets one, so that's fine. But yeah, it's Core being quite aggressive because he's definitely outnumbered there. He was definitely outnumbered there on water, but making it happen. But this is exactly why this map is so hard to play, because there's just things happening everywhere, and it's just so hard to keep track of the water and the land at the same time. These maps are absolutely wild to play.
And you guys can see, even for the observer, Whamen, she's struggling doing two computers at the same time. And there are now ships coming from the top, ships coming from the back. Sassy getting some flanks in. A little bit disgusting, and at the same time, we just see some bodies on the floor on the other screen. Very nice.
Yeah, this is just getting very wild, but the military numbers are pretty equal. The economy numbers are pretty equal. So right now, it seems like we just have an even game, Whamen.
I just want to point out, by the way, guys, the way EGC does this is with 2 people. So that's why it's not as smooth. But I will practice and I will get there. Now, it does look like Sassy's land aggression is looking a little better now. But Core, he's making more land units. And losing a horseman like that instantly shifts it again. Because now he keeps going in. And it does look like he is going to be able to take some trades, but the thing is that King also handles most of this aggression very well. And again, we need to look at the water and look at the land. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get my hands ready so I can click on all the fights at the same time and ensure that we have a little bit of a following. Very nice.
Yeah, you need like as much APM to observe as you need to play it, pretty much, huh?
Yeah, my mouse ran out of battery, so now it's wired, and that's why I'm struggling.
So wait, do you have one mouse in each hand?
Yes, I do have one mouse in each hand, actually.
That is actually pretty impressive.
The autism makes it a lot easier, I must say. I honestly didn't think it would benefit me, but oh my god, look at these guys go! And now the ships, they're being very, very aggressive. I can see that this is Core is now feeling like, okay, this is where I outplay him. I saw this earlier. Now, just look at that. The perfect micro from his ships. He's just able to turn them around and get a cheap shot every single time. We're following that King. We'll see where he lands. And now, Sassy is trying to gain on him. And it does look like he's able to. But the thing is, he's going straight past him. And the problem is, there are some sneaky boys coming from the back.
Ooh, I don't know. Oh, I guess he's seen it. He's got his arrow ships in the back there. Ooh.
He's got his own.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought these were cores for a bit. I think the orange and pink stuff is also a bit hard to see in water. Maybe I'm just hoping, but yes, that's a lot of ships coming in, and let's see if Core has the micro. Okay, keeps alive for now. This is just so hard to do. I don't know if people in chat have played those water maps, but this micro is actually super hard to do.
Making sure you put your ships in all the different control groups and you are able to do something about it. But look at that wood line. That wood line is getting harassed. We have some palace guards here, but Core is ready for that. And now the water is the third component. Guys, I need a third mouse and a third computer. But unfortunately, honestly, maybe I should set that up for tomorrow.
Wait, what? No. Can't you ask Beastie to do it? Doesn't he have a third computer in his room?
No, I actually do have a third computer in my room, Shuki. I'm actually prepped for this. Yeah.
What the? Crazy.
It is. It's a little bit wild. We're prepping for the apartment cup, ladies and gentlemen. But it does look like this is going to be a little bit of a shuffle. The sword junks, they are about to get busted on. If this... Never mind. Only one going down. But boys, we have vision on the King. A little bit scuffed at the moment. We're going to keep eyes on the ships. I'm going to micro the other mouse quickly. Give me a second, because there's another attack coming. There we go, now.
Yeah, we as we saw in the beautiful split screen that you were doing, Core actually managed to get a lot of eco kills, and that's it. South just taps out because he just took too much damage on those raids.
And I've been saved yet again. That's why, by the guys, at the start of these games, you see me looking here, you see me looking there. It's all the different computers. So I don't actually have vision problems. This is just me trying to multitask. But yeah, I mean, we're up now. He's on match point. And when you look at the next matchup, we have Dry Arabia. Now, remember when I said Sassy is really comfortable on knights and he's pretty good at those? Yeah, Core likes China. China, one of the best civilizations in the hands of Core, because Core he knows how to camp and then attack. He knows how to time that well. And honestly, I would like to see Sassy do something about that, because when you have a civilization like French, those TC shots just hit extra hard because those knights take a lot of damage and they take a while to heal up, especially when you don't have chivalry already in your pocket. So Sassy, if he can micro these knights well, he will probably be fine, but we'll see if that's going to be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hop on in.
So, what do you think is the probability that we see a Barbican rush in this game?
In the hands of Core?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's pretty high, honestly. It does feel pretty high.
There's definitely, I would say, I don't know. I mean, it's French. I think Barbican rushing French is usually kind of hard, but I guess if they're greedy, if they go Pro Scout, sorry. I guess maybe there's a timing there where you can. But I mean, you know, Core is he's a Barbican Rush enjoyer. I've seen him Barbican Rush people a lot of times. We saw him Burger Rush earlier. So we know this guy loves his cheese, and he loves his a bit of dirty strategy.
Well, he is German, and the Germans are quite renowned for their love of cheese. So maybe that was what it was all along. And Sassy,
you know,
he's Turkish, so you know the style coming on through. He's just styling on people with them knights and the double scout apparently. Now, I just want to point out that there's an apple pie waiting to be baked. With all these berries out here. Look at all look at them apples, I wanted to say.
Beautiful apple pie. Okay.
So you got my message, right? The banana bread, apple pie.
Yeah, no, I get the message,
got it.
but okay. I think there's gotta be a setting somewhere. I think on Discord maybe that like change something. No, but for real, because that doesn't make sense because I'm not changing anything. Like I don't know.
Now, I want to check out that second scout as well, boys. He does have 3, and obviously he was about to trail behind this guy. And yeah, we'll see if that's going to... Oh, and I realized the timing is a little ahead. Let me just catch up. I was a little bit too fast on the second computer, so I'm just catching up with it. Oh, there we go. Now, there we go. Perfectly timed. Now you do see what they're looking at. And ladies, let's go watch that. So now, Sassy with the double scout, he's going to be able to go pretty deep. Let's go check if he's actually going to get an advantage there. No, that's been cleaned up completely, because Core also on a second scout, which I honestly did not notice until now. So both of these players definitely be snacking on some resources. Now we're going to be seeing what that situation looks into feudal, while the age up begins. School of Cavalry up with 5, with Wheelbarrow in the mix as well. Now, seeing Wheelbarrow this early on spells out one thing. And one thing only. We are not going to be seeing some sneaky professional scouts that quickly. Because with the knights, you are able to shut down pro scouts pretty fast. But we'll see if Sassy queues up a knight or goes for pro scouts and just defies whatever I say.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine he's going to go for a knight, right? Most likely. That's the standard play. But we've seen a bunch of people. Actually, he opened 2 scout there. I was not expecting that, to be honest. They both opened 2 scout. So that tells me that they might not actually be going for pro scout at all.
It does feel that way, right? A lot of people, they do leave the 2 on gold to be able to get an Imperial official or 2. But from there on, look at how quickly that gold increases. That's the problem. By this point, they already have pretty much a lot when it comes to having enough for the pro scouts. But with double scout as well, it does feel like a little bit of a waste to let that go. Now, I want to point out to you guys, when he does this to the mining camp, it doesn't just delay, or it doesn't just get a villager idle to start repairing this. It takes a lot of wood. And this will, in turn, ensure that SAS, if he wanted to go for Pro Scout, that he won't be able to do it so easily. So this is actually a pretty big brain play here by Core. Now Core, he does not have anything extra on the gold here, but you do see him queuing up another Imperial official. But honestly, I would not be surprised if he goes for a responsible professional scout, because he still has a lot of gold in the bank. But Barracks is the choice first.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they will, but I mean, it could be just a delayed one. You know, there's still a world in which we see a good old Barbican rush. That is not out of the question, because I know I've seen when Core does it, he usually does like some spears, you know, maybe like 5, 6, 7 spears, and then he pulls the veils and does it. So we'll have to see.
And he also just lost his scout. So maybe you're right. You see Sassy also not getting his mining upgrade. So no professional scouts going for Mr. SAS either. But we will be following the story of this knight.
There's a professional scout coming from Core though. So he will be snacking. I think that kind of makes the probability of a Barbican rush a bit lower. I'm a bit sad, to be honest. I haven't seen a Barbican rush in quite a while, so.
You were hoping for one.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for it, you know. Hey, it's fun when you watch it, but it's not as fun when you're the receiver of it.
The reason it would also be very risky in this scenario is because you're playing against a civilization with knights, and it does feel a little iffy to sacrifice that to knights. But getting the spears in a position like this does feel a little bit safer while you try and make something happen while they go for their archer transition, because that's usually what we get out of French at this point. Now we see another 2 knights in queue. Sassy is producing them, and he's running into the spears at the back. Does not find any damage just yet.
Yeah, and Sassy is actually doing a professional knight there. He's pushing the deer with his knight and his scouts. So this is like a new variation of the build that I haven't seen yet. But yeah, why not?
Professional knights, apparently, the new professional scouts. They could be quite effective at scaring away any counterattacks as well. Very nice. Now, Core does start to do the professional scouting. We do see him pick up a few of the boys, but this is something that Sassy needs to spot. The thing is, he's going for double archery range behind this, and as we see the villagers split, and then Knight still running for his life, trying to cause a little bit of idle time, it does feel like Sassy is going to be able to utilize the pro scouts pretty well. One of the knights finally going down to a nice little kebab surround by the spears, and that knight's journey has ended.
Yeah, I guess this is the end of the pro knight. But yeah, pretty good. I mean, that was a pretty decent deer spawn from SAS, and by sacrificing Pro Scout in a way, he gets a bit of a better tempo now because that's a very expensive upgrade. He didn't have to invest into. So let's see now if he can capitalize and maybe try and shut down a Core's Pro Scout.
Now it does feel, oh yeah, Sassy knows. Sassy has spotted it through the fog of war, seeing those scouts jump around. And he's going for a little bit of a harassment. But the problem is those spears can make this very expensive. Again, taking a lot of damage here. And this is honestly, even though it doesn't look like it's much. Oof, beautiful charge here. It can add up quickly.
Point blank charge.
And losing a scout.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
He definitely is going to struggle against the knight numbers, because we can now see Core getting some horses in between this as well to chase down those low HP knights. He does stop one of these scouts, but another one of his scouts might go down. This does feel very expensive, even though it's just damage and the knights aren't going down just yet.
Yeah, that's a pretty good destroyed value from SAS already. Slightly ahead now, so it looks like he's been taking decent trades. But yeah, and this is what's so good about Knight. He's just making him run around, right? But Core has entered with his own horsemen, and as a French enjoyer myself, it is really annoying when you get traded back. You just want to be the one doing the raiding, You're like spending so much attention trying to not lose your knights left and right, and so you usually don't have much attention left for your own economy. So if you don't like playing versus French, being the one raiding back is usually a pretty good way to deal with it.
And you can see he knew exactly about that archer timing. And the archer timing just told him, hey, man, it's time for me to go. And that perfectly intercepted the first set of archers. I believe it was one archer. Let me do that. We'll check that. But losing an archer like that pretty early on, it sets the tone, right? Because now he's already professionally scouted the rest of it. And he's going Imperial Palace. While Sassy, on the other hand, he's nowhere close to going for Castle. And Core, his army is not going to allow Sassy to do so.
Yeah, this is actually I'm actually really quite amazed by the timing of the castle age there, because of course military numbers are not bad. So yeah, he's really able, and he's those horses are giving him so much space because. And now he's waiting with Pierce, but yeah, all of that, and he's the one being greedy, but he's putting the pressure. So right now, Core is playing this wonderfully.
And Core might even be able to get this. Oh, he's going to get this tower down. Those spearmen are doing so much work. We see the villagers desperately trying to repair them. And even if they do, this is going to be a tough point. You can see the yoinks have successfully happened. The knights are going to run right through them. And you can see... Oh, we can see that there is going to be a little bit of a distraction. Horsemen still counter-raiding as well. And honestly, a few of these deer going with... I say a few, but it feels like all of them except for one got yoinked. And... now this is... Oh, never mind. There's two left. Ah, two left and one dropped along the way. But that definitely did its damage already. And Sassy, he's making more knights. He's actually doubling down in feudal.
Yeah, and I mean, and obviously this was really good sequence from Core there, who bought himself so much time. But it wasn't, it did cost some army. He lost a lot of military there with those raids. And so now SAS has a bit of a window to try and punish him for it, because Core's military numbers are not looking that great. But he's Castle Age and he gets to make knights.
Yeah, the thing is, Sassy now getting a ranged armor here is not helping his case, because now with these lances, they're just going to keep going through everything. He's got +1 ranged attack, but the problem is, it's just not going to help killing these. And now Core just going for more lances. So with these archers, they might get that little bit of defense as well, but it's going to be so hard against a huge army of lances, and Castle Age lances at that, to try and shut this down. But Sassy, he trusts in the French knights. You can see he's letting those boys healed up. But the problem is, he's very low on food.
Yeah, but that was a beautiful micro from SAS. That he has a lot of very low HP knights that he managed to keep alive. So this is really good. But that is another very nice raid on the goal from Core.
And getting 4 villages total by now is definitely something Core is feeling happy about. Another one that will go down, and now Core is ahead in villagers, even though he's in Tang Dynasty, so it feels pretty crazy to say that against French, right? Because with French, you're so used to seeing them be ahead because of that faster villager production as well. Now, the Imperial officials also count towards that number, but still, that's a pretty significant lead.
Yeah, definitely. And, this is the thing with French is... they don't really have any pure bonus eco, right? Like their villagers are just normal. Their bonus eco is having more villages than the opponent. And so when you're actually behind as French, it really doesn't feel good. And what's even worse is when you're he's actually losing villages. When you're the French guy with the knights, you're usually the one that is doing the damage. And oh my god, yeah. And that was a really good engagement from Core, and he just cleans up the entire army.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game here from Core. Core actually showing us that German cheese was not necessary. He could just do it in a straight up game.